Hello friends, this is Tarang Sadhya from Goa Institute of Management, and today I have a very special guest with me who's actually leading the corporate world. He's a very famous face already. He doesn't really need an introduction though, but for our listeners, well, he is Mr. Virat Diwanji. He's the Senior Executive Vice President and Head of Branch Banking, Kotak Mahindra. I welcome you to.
Thanks, Tarang.
So we'll quickly move on to a few questions that have been intriguing our campus students. So it's been a very long journey already. It's been over 24 years of experience and 18 years of banker. So are you living the dream as in, did you really plan this career for yourself?
You see, if you really ask me, planned the career, the answer is yes. Did I plan it to be a banker? The answer is no.
Okay.
You see, but definitely at the beginning of the career, I did lay down some ground rules as how I want to grow, and that's where I followed the strategy that I had laid out for myself, and how the milestones that I kept on measuring at every interval of time, that motivated me enough, and perhaps I navigated and moved on, and by God's grace I have got the success that I was really looking forward to. But if you are asking me, certainly planning is critical part, because whether it is to change the job or whether means today, if you ask me, I have worked in only 2 organizations. Yeah, I worked in consultancy to start the career with A. Ferguson and Company, and now I am with Kotak Group for last 24 years.
Okay. Well, truly, as in, it has been a great journey so far, and I congratulate you on the journey so far.
Thank you.
Well, talking about the journey, over the last few years, we have seen a lot of changes, be it the political scenario or the technology in the country. So the new government is in place, and they are coming up with a lot of initiatives. So how do you see this evolution taking place, and what do you think could be the big thing in the branch bank, as in the banking space?
Look, I think the digital evolution will change the way in which the banking is happening today. Over a period of next 3 to 5 years, I see a lot of changes happening.
Okay.
The technology is already started getting into people's life. The bank formats will change. The way in which you do your transactions will change, and there are many things which will happen.
Okay.
Today, the two, I would say, the show, not exactly the showstoppers, but which is reducing the speed of this thing, are people, 2 basic elements. One is the privacy, and the second is the security on the data. If you address these 2 things, perhaps the banking will change in a very different way. And what you see as a digital evolution is something in the front end. There are a lot more things which happen at the back end, and that's digitization of processes within a bank can bring about huge efficiencies, and that can change again the way in which the bank operates.
Okay. Well, talking about changes, there has been a lot of upgradation in terms of infrastructure at our campus at Goa Institute of Management. There has been a lot of push for the infrastructure for all the specializations that we have on campus. Talking about finance as a domain, we have our dedicated Society of Finance, we have Vinithan, the investment fund ran by the students. So, but still, when we look at the things happening in the economy, by a finance manager's perspective maybe, we do think that does infrastructure is enough, as in, is the only enough factor, or what lies beyond, as in, we would like to take your feedback on this.
Look, what you are calling as an infrastructure, I would view it as an investment. It is a basic necessity for any institute to really gain foothold in the marketplace.
Okay.
Because today, whatever is taught in your classroom is important, but it may not, is necessary, but it may not be important.
Okay.
And you need to be on the top of what is happening, not only in your institute, in your state, in your country, but what is happening across the world.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, you will have only 24 hours in a day. How you keep yourself abreast with various things happening across the world without losing the focus on what you are currently doing is a critical thing. So I would view all this investments or infrastructure which the institute provides is an absolute basic today for students to really succeed in their career.
Okay. And talking about being at the top of things, so you have been at the top of things in your career so far, and you have had a very long career by now. You have been with this company, Kotak Mahindra, for a very long time by now. So how would you summarize this great journey that you have had so far?
You see, if you ask me to summarize it, I will summarize it in 2 sentences. In that sense, the first one is very early in my career, perhaps may not be in this many words, but I had said that, okay, if there is any way for success, I will find it.
Okay.
If it is none, I will create it.
Okay.
And I think those means, and that the thing which I have followed literally. And in doing this, following this journey in that sense, again, I have adopted a 3D principle. What I call it as discipline, determination, and decision. Means I decide I need to do, I am determined to succeed on that, and then follow it with the discipline. And I think these are very, very basic things which I have followed religiously both in my professional and the personal life, and that's all has given me a lot of success both on the personal as well as professional front.
And it surely has worked out pretty well for you, sir. Now, a lot of campus students are wondering, you've been on campus right now and they need to get some words from you. So what would be your message to the leaders of tomorrow at Goa Institute of Management and other business schools?
There are no shortcuts in life. Sweating is the only option. Stick to your plan and execute perfectly.
Perfect, and stay determined, take decisions, and make sure you are disciplined throughout this journey. So, thank you again for your time today, sir.
Thanks.
Thank you so much for joining us at the Take 5. So that was Mr. Virat Diwanji, Senior Executive Vice President and Head Branch Banking for Kotak Mahindra. Thank you so much.